We are going to continue cartography here today. My name is Phil. Hey, I do artwork. I build books, illustrate in cartography, and do page layouts and design D&D PDFs that then publish on DMsGuild. That's my intro. Hi. Check out, subscribe to the things. We've got 112 people that are subscribing with me so far. That's fantastic. It looks like about half of the people that check out my channels are subscribers, which, as I understand, is an incredibly high ratio of view to not view. So thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm checking my signals here real quick, and then we will jump into this and continue our work on the Space Shark Night Riders, as it were. That's a horrible way of putting it. They're Skaver riders. If you've been checking out, my stream daily, you know that we've been building supplemental mechanics for both combat and exploration to work in Dungeons and Dragons, Spelljammer's Adventures in Space. This is the book cover that we built on stream. It was probably last month at this point. But that's down in the feed for the of the playlist of this thing that we did that we're doing today. Let's see. Yeah, if you follow me on Twitter, I just posted on Twitter that I'm live, so you can catch me there and keep up with me if you choose. Just give me a shout out as you please. I'm going to drop down here and so this. That's about the size that it appears, at least on my screen, for DMsGuild. So that should be hopefully compelling enough for people to say, "What is going on there?" But I'll pull it in and say, Spelljammer. So fantastic! This is what we're working on right now, though. This is going to be this is the first interior art piece that we've created for this. So we are going to dive. We're going to dive in on this. We're going to work on the backscatter, and then we're going to work on the foreground guy and just keep at it. So I think I'm going to be bold and just merge, duplicate that group, and then merge that group. Get out of here, Norton. No one likes you. We'll let you know when you're needed. Thank you. Now I can see, like, when you're way back here and you pull back to 75% opacity, it makes the atmospheric disturbance of the sky space erodes the color saturation in the in the background image objects, so they will appear further away even still than what is closer because it's smaller, has less detail, and it's faded in comparison to larger, more detailed, crisper foreground stuff. And so you can transition from foreground to background more smoothly by doing that and have them spatially very close to each other, so that so they stay in good proportion to each other. I can afford to trim this all the way down to Yotter and still be good. So anyway, I need a cup of coffee. I am so tired. Oh man, I was up super late last night. So, but no rest for the wicked, and hard work is ground zero. So give me a hot second while I pour some Joe into my mug, and we're gonna bash some skulls for 2 hours. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go pay my pound of flesh to the man. So just to stay updated, tomorrow is an American holiday. It's Thanksgiving here. Hey, turkeys. I will not be on stream on Thursday, but I will be back on Friday. We're going to do Friday. We are going to do more Spelljammer art. If this isn't done by Friday, we'll finish it on stream. That yeah, we'll finish this on Friday if it's not already done, and from there we have token production for all the different ships, and that's the Light of Zoraxis adventure that we've been working on. We'll have playtesting after the holiday, and we will have. One second here, I'm just pushing the pixels a bit. The technical the mechanical document for the Spelljammer Convention in Space, the thing that we're like literally working on right now. The mechanic revisions are pretty much done. Right now we're just going through the book to make sure that the revisions that are being made from the playtests that we've had are consistently represented throughout the book, so there's no need for errata or contradictions right away. And then we will be able to hopefully hand them off for Adam to start chewing on edits. I can continue doing the map production for the asset production for what we're going to need to include in the zip file for this, for all the different, like I was saying, ship tokens. That's our primary focus at the moment, and then we can start breaking up the map as well. Once we get the edits back from Adam, God willing, they'll be minimal, but I mean, it is what it is. If things need to get fixed, then things need to get fixed, and God bless Ukulele and Adam for helping me through that process. But once we get through the edit process, then we go into page layouts, and once we figure out how everything's supposed to sit on the page, we do all the charts and the tables, we build all that stuff out proper. And then we build the page dressing, like the page count filigree at the bottom of the page, and the number count stuff, and what else do we do with dressing? We do all the fonts, figure out what we're going to do with that, and how all the words fit on the page. We're going to do all that on stream as well in the mornings instead of artwork. We're doing page production. Once we get through the layouts, then we go back in, and I need to up my game here. There. And by game, I mean size of the brush I'm working with. Okay, right. Yeah. Once all the page production is done, we'll know what gaps are left that need illustrations, like this one. So this is probably the only actual illustration I'm going to do for Spelljammer before Spelljammer layout is done. I still have lots of token asset production and map stuff I can do. So on Friday, we'll finish up this picture if it's not done yet. Further things we'll do on Thursday is going to be a lot of Eberron artwork. We're working on a few different maps, and our editor is racing me to see who gets done first, me with cartography or him with the edits, with us both having a deadline of my bits. Yeah, us both having a deadline of December 23rd at worst. Most likely it'll be better. Just checking my numbers over here. Cool. Oh man, what a drag of a day. Hey, Dra, good to see you, dude. Are we going to get a holographic? You mean like a foil cover for this? Probably not. If you need something different, let me know. I assume you're just being snarky. Because snark is golden. Yeah, foil cover all the way, baby. This will be a zero errata print press picture, print press piece. That is complete lie. Yeah, I do not like doing print. I've had plenty of books in the past where my artwork has been in prints, all throughout the 3rd edition phase back in the early 2000s, and I just don't think it's just not practical for my table. It's a print book is like outrageous. I only work on Roll20. I only use VTT, and I'm pretty much blind, so reading books sucks for me. So I'm a PDF sort of guy, and I think I don't know. I don't think I would ever bother with print like as like a Kickstarter thing. It's just books just aren't worth it to me. Look at Wizards. They're already having to errata a book they haven't even released yet. That's going to cost them millions. It's ridiculous. I mean, people will buy the book regardless, but it kind of requires a second printing at this point, which, I mean, I guess they're making money if they're doing that, so they wouldn't otherwise, but they pumped hundreds of millions of dollars into building crap tons of books, and they're wrong. It's just, I don't like it. It's too high stakes for me. I'm just a small guy. I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. Spare me a life of this monstrosity. No. Oh, yeah. Where's my... It can't just be like that. There you go, buddy. You're going to love me. I just might you. That. Probably gonna have to gather some leather materials. Maybe a little snake. It's good to have you around, man. Excuse me, I've got the funny himmies going on. Copy, paste, drop, Oh, silly rabbit. Just like that. Wait. Yeah. Wait. Oh, sillier even still, Rabbit. God, I'm so tired. You can't draw. You can't draw on that layer. Let's get back on task over here. There we go. Now we're back on task. You really do what we want to. I have base nectar in my head. Normally I just listen to 3 hours of it to purge to purge the earworm, but alas, earwax, we're here. So I'm just gonna have to earworm it forever. Almost done with this guy. Boy, it's coffee time more than ever. Hey, Hornetica, how you doing, dude? Thank you. I mean, it's been a pretty fast piece. But obviously we got a little bit more work to do. So we'll get it done, and then we'll push it out, and then we'll start making ship tokens at the 50-foot scale and the 500-foot scale. And we've cleaned up the placement of information inside of the alpha document so that it is going to be a much cleaner read. Things are better organized. You keep finding ways to simplify stuff, just trim it back. It doesn't need to be so complicated. Less is more, and all of the adages. We've got a lot of potential to make this a really good book. It's just trimming it down and making it make sense, and less words is better. Is kind of where we're at right now with it. Is how can we trim down the language, make it cleaner. like the for example, the recover focus action that support pilots and squadron commanders can take when they lose concentration while operating either a wild space orrery or orrery, helm, or an arcane cannon. It's a base mechanic that you can regain concentration as action before you can start taking other action economy with those items again. That's a consistent theme through these different techie things. So these different items that you can use. So instead of them making those actions that are part of the ship role. Like support does that when they're on orreries. Squadron commanders need that when they're on orreries, and pilots need that when they are on the helm. Those are consistent things that are needed. They don't have to be actions that you can take as a role. That we just move that information up into the items themselves. When you lose concentration, you can, the way that it works is as an action or a bonus action, you can gain attunement with these items, and while attuned, you can perform these tasks. So if you lose concentration, you are no longer attuned to them. So then you have to reattune, which establishes concentration again. And you want to have either an action or a bonus action to do that to make your opponent losing concentration have benefit for the attacker that was able to do that, and to add stress and risk to the characters that are piloting ships or doing ship stuff. So we don't have to make that a role option. It's just how the stuff works. So we were able to clean up that language, shorten the list of actions that need to be listed for each role, so that simplifies the roles. So the things that have changed and are more in-depth mechanically about what the roles can do become more of the focus. And it simplifies the ship roles section of the book by reducing the redundancies. So it's like, you should know how that works already. We've been talking about you maintaining concentration while attuned with these items for like 30 pages. So you should be on point with that. You should be up with that at this point in the document. So anyway, like little quality of life things like that. That's pretty much the stage that we're at. We're also reorganizing so that squadrons, the small crafts, are presented with the same information as the larger ships, so that they have the same status as the larger Spelljammer ships. They're just smaller, so that they're part of the same mechanical workflow. So it's like, it doesn't matter how big the ship is, anywhere from 10 feet to 500 feet. It's the same consistent mechanics for all size crafts. It's just, how do they operate differently do they operate differently at the 50 and the 500 foot scale? And for the most part, they don't. So that became redundant. It's like, all we gotta do is just resolve all our vehicle mechanics up in the vehicle section, and then that simplifies squadrons later on in the book, because you already have all the mechanical information about how ships work at all. Now it's just, what are you making your squadron from? Things that are smaller than 50 feet or things that are larger than 50 feet. And that sets the scale for where the squadrons sit inside of. Here's the the document that we're currently working on and peeling apart the ship saves. Oh, and the other thing that we did to accommodate how small craft work with larger ships is that each of these ships have a consistent size. So, and the scaling on these, as was in Descent into Avernus, and is also consistently true here with the Spelljammer vessels, is it's 10 hit points per 5 feet space. So that allows us to have a lot more diversity in kind of hit point supply that these ships have. Like on your Scorpion ship, it's not a flat 200; it's only 150, because it's basically 75 feet. Break it down to divide by 5 equals 15 times 10 hit points is 150, as opposed to like one of these small blades that are 3x3. They only have 30 hit points apiece, and of course these act as temporary hit points that are like armor around the pilot that's actually controlling the thing. So these different size ships are like the Manta's only have 5x5, that only has 50 hit points. A good catapult hit could knock it out. So that's damage that your character is going to have to take to mitigate that. So and as we know from the playtesting, those small little hits start adding up really fast. At first it's nothing, but by the end of a good fight, you guys are chewing through spell slots to keep your saves to keep your characters alive. That's just good RPG. So we have a lot more diversity now in kind of hit points that are going to be in here. We can further separate materials from the craft themselves and simplify how the materials work, which we are currently in the process of doing. But this little section here, Spelljammer ships and small craft, that span through here. Like that 2 pages is literally the only mechanical changes I need to make in the document. And then from there, it's just go through and make sure everything is reading consistently from the errata, from the front end of the book, through the ships, into vision, all the stuff flows smoothly. And once it's all consistently the same, then I can hand it off to editing. And it's very, very possible that I will be doing that this Saturday. So I suspect, first draft going to edit. So I'm going to say by Saturday today, this week. So that's super exciting. Super exciting that this thing is locking down and going to happen. I've been dumping a shitload of hours into it, so it's going to happen anyway. But there is that point in design development where you're like, oh crap, I just ran out of stuff. I can't stall. I can't use improving the document as an excuse to stall any further. It's time to get my ass kicked by my editor, and then you wait for the punt, which is so exciting because that means that the next time, once the editor gets done with it, we'll actually be able to drop it into the into layouts and like actually build a book out of this. God, it's gonna be awesome. And we'll continue doing playtesting on Light of Zaraxis during that process. This is like an appendix at the back end of the book. So while we're getting all of the mechanics for the book edited and resolved, and get rid of any contradictions and all the blah that may be in there. While that's being resolved, we're still logging hours on Light of Zaraxis using the mechanics that we've already worked through, and figure out how the rules that we have need to sit inside of the Light of Zaraxis adventure. So by the time we get the mechanical edits back from Adam, we should already have a confirmation of what needs to happen inside of the adventure, the revisions, and then sally forth with those. So, sorry, I'm kind of on a ramble here, but I guess it wouldn't be my stream if I wasn't rambling about technical stuff. So, cheers to that. But yeah, it's exciting. It's bottom line is this thing is grinding into existence, and by God, that's going to be super freaking cool. I'm excited. I am so excited about having this out there, and there is like no limit to the second edition source content that we can potentially sweep back through and rebuild from here. I think it's neat. We've seen a couple people on DMsGuild already build revised versions of adventures from second edition here into fifth edition, but obviously they're not using the mechanics that we're using, so we can pick through their documents to see what they did and potentially supplement that further and then bundle it. So like if there's somebody out there that's like doing crystal spheres or something, which is laden with ships, but it's an actual adventure as well, and we'd like to cut of the jib, then we can curve that book into our mechanics, bundle with them, and potentially speed up distribution of people looking at these mechanics to use them. And of course, then Reddit. I hang out pretty regularly on the Spelljammer and the 5e Spelljammer Discord. So I mean, if you're in a Spelljammer and you're not hanging out on Discord, you can catch me there as well. That's one of my haunts these days. But there's a lot of people that are asking really good questions that I'm really proud that this thing has most of the answers to. So hanging out on Reddit is a lot. I would say, I hang out on Reddit a lot for Ravnica. But the color mechanics that I built are ironically not heavily received on the Ravnica channel, which is a really big reveal for me that most people just do not care about color mechanics in D&D. If you're an import from MTG into D&D, then color mechanics are our natural go. And you can check if you're new around here. Hi, like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so that we can launch this thing into a revenue stream, so I can keep my books 100% preview. See, I make my books preview so that everyone can read them to make sure that they like them before they buy them, as I hate seeing a 50-page book of mechanical documentation and only sharing 4 pages of it. It's like, what if I think your mechanics suck? Why do I want to give you $10? It's like, why are you hiding your content? That's what I come away with. It's you're afraid that people aren't going to like your book, so you're hiding your information. And I want you to read everything. I want you to be excited about using the stuff that I build and be happy buyers and just give me money as a statement of keep doing this. So like I could stick all this behind a paywall and you not see any of it, and that's lame. But like if Paizo can have the guts to put all their content online at no cost for you to actually use it, and then assume that you'll come back through and actually buy the books because they're useful to you, then I can have that same courage. And so anyway, I'm really just ranting at this point already. It's because I'm so exhausted. But yeah, this thing's gonna happen, and I don't know. What the hell was I talking about? I'm so tired. I was up late helping the gal with cooking for a coworker banquet that she's having tomorrow, and she got that stuff done and just crashed out. And here I am in 0 sleep space. Literally just lost my train of thought. Seeing all this Spelljammer interest makes me feel like I should be working further on my more sci-fi themed classes. I've finally gotten the visitor class into a 6th level playtest version. Hey, great. Hey, Anzi. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you about that. Is I was originally building the squad and army mechanics, and I was excited about Horde of the Dragon Queen. And then we started doing vehicle playtesting, and I got super pumped about Descent into Avernus. Then Spelljammer dropped, and I completely shifted all gears and focused only on building Spelljammer mechanics into this book. And now Dragonlance has dropped, and I want to loop back around and get back into squad and army mechanics because Dragonlance desperately needs squad and army mechanics. So the rate that they're pumping books out now is similar to the rate that they're pumping out MTG cards, and that it is a fast train, and you kind of got to pick your ground and stick with it till it's done so you can get it off of your plate. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in perpetual should have done this or could have done that, or there's no end of new ideas. Like Planescape is going to come out like what, in 4 months or something like that. If you're not done with your sci-fi piece, then now you got Dragonlance pushing at you, and now Planescape came out, and now you want to do a planar thing, and it's a yada 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 yada. When does it ever end? It doesn't. It never ever ever ends. So anyway, you gotta pull the trigger on what you're working on. Your emotions and your chemistry needs you to complete a project, so that you can have that sorrow process, that post-mortem grief of being done with the project, so you can purge your system of the current project so you can start another one. Otherwise, you just keep stacking up more ideas and you never complete anything. And so you get further and further away from being comfortable with having that thing published and to feel the joys and sorrows of victory conditions involving the publication of that work, or even just pushing it out there and getting likes and comments from people. Like there has to be a payoff for the huge amount of effort that is put into these projects. Especially, I mean, I'm working at a pretty huge scale right now with like an 80, 90 page book. in comparison to like a 3 or 4 page subclass. But it still stands that you have to develop a work cycle that experiences completion more than anything else. So that's actually really, really important for you just to be able to continue producing content. Otherwise, you get burnout on just the ideas, knowing that there's no fulfillment waiting for you. So it's a ton of investment with no reward, and your system will rebel against that. I'm no. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you're different from me. Who knows? But that would be my long-toothed warning to anyone that's producing content is pick a lane and pull a trigger. Take it from me. I've got like a dozen projects that are running, and I have a lot of production fatigue because all of it has a long production cycle that I'm at various stages through. Like, this was the most obvious product for me to actually pull the trigger on. The Eberron adventure that I'm working on is an absolute project that I have to work on. But then I have Martial Power Mondays. Like, I only spend like 3 hours a week on that outside of playtesting, which is awesome. We're 17th level now at my homebrew table, so we get to playtest the 5th ranked power, and now they're using D10s instead of D8s on their power dice. So that's fun. That is some fun stuff. I'm loading up the Druid with a bunch of skill check modifications. The Rogue is focusing more heavily into reaction and strikes, and the Ranger is bending more towards maneuver and sustained powers. So fun stuff. Fun stuff. And I get to keep swapping out what powers they're using, so we can see how things look at different tiers, and they're into it. So that's such a cool book. Martial Powers is going to be so badass, but that's like another 75-page book. So I've got about 250 pages in active production right now between this, the Eberron adventure, and Spelljammer, and the Martial Powers. That's a shitload of content that is working its way through the pipeline. So anyway, ramble mode. That was my food for thought. Ramble on, sing my song. Anyway, my word of wisdom, if it's useful. Maybe other people are different. I'm having a sharpness issue. There we go. here. There we go. There. Not bad. Let's grab a reference. That should be good. Like that. Let's see. Okay, cool. I'm up to date on chat. Cool. Like the old Tom and Jerry cartoons. You got the owner. He doesn't actually use any words ever, but you know, like he does stuff that forces Tom or Jerry to react. And he's always like in the 70s, like when all the sound, like the sound, oh God, the sound balance, like they had like feedback, background silence that would just fill the void with this brash horn work. It's like they were challenging you to actually sit through those cartoons, but the owner with a fishing cap on, he'd be like chudda 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 chudda, and you know, then you get angry and you go like, ah blah blah or something like that when he got angry about whatever. But that chudda chudda kind of stuck in my head as a little kid. as like an ellipses for hold on, let me get this thing done. It's kind of, I don't know, whatever. Hard ramble mode over here, don't mind me. Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm gonna get rid of those. I don't want to over detail it, but there's opportunities for me just to add a little bit more. stuff in there instead of saying. That is, God, that's turning out fucking great. Holy hibiscus. I am super happy. This is A-okay. So I'm going to lay down a highlight effect here. Yeah, man. Feeling pretty good about that guy. I'm pretty happy with that. And I guess I've been using the wrong layer again. Don't mind me. Nice. Okay, cool. So I think I'm happy with that scabbard in the back. And stitch that all up. Foreground. All right. So background is good. I got a heater going here. I'm going to take, what is it? Oh my God, it's only 6:40. I should set a timer here. Since we're at 6:40 here in Saddle, we're going to have another hour and 20 minutes to work on this. Holy crap. So let's work on it. Okay, cool. So let's see what we're going to work on next. Where did Boof's Menagerie go? Hold on. Reference. Huh. Should have sworn that I ganked. Where is it? Oh well, at this point it's probably just easier to go grab a new copy of it. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Let's go fish. Image. Oh yeah, there it is. Am I the worst or what? Get out of here. No. Jeez, McCrow. Just the worst. Alright, so let's see. What are we going to steal some colors on? Here and here. Let's start there. It's a sharp blue, a faded blue. That'll probably feel fine. Still worst. All right, cool. So let's do some sky. Do. Merge down. Outer space. Was that? Oh, I see what I was doing there. Right. Space 2. This space is at 75% opacity, while this background is at 100% opacity. I was doing a bit. So let's keep it. Let's yeah, let's just steal from within the document at this point. And then we take our patent pending spin cloud brush, drop its opacity down to about 50%. Let's see if we can. I almost feel like starting over on the clouds, since you guys didn't get to see it happen. But I can't run my life like that. Yeah, I already don't like that. Maybe we be bold like an American. Merge that group down and duplicate that layer. Maybe merge that down. Oh, it just locked up. So I'm gonna hit save, wait for that to finish, grab a sip, relaunch. Cool. Now we're back into it. Let's drop our opacity down to 30%. Keep our brush like yonder. Let's see what happens if we do this. Here's the thing about clouds. You can spend 500 hours just futzing with clouds like this, or like you could spend 20 minutes and there's not going to be a lot of big difference. So what I have learned in my time is that God, you can just procrastinate your next move, infinitely by just messing around with clouds. They can never be poofy and you know, wispy and flowy enough. You can always do more. It is infinite. So a lot of the lesson that I learned from clouds is that you got to learn when you've hit your 95% curve, and that there's virtually nothing left that the added detail is going to actually do for the composition of the piece. Once the eye goes, oh yeah, that's clouds, and you get rid of any obvious like weird like brush stroke artifacts that are clashing with the general texture that you want, like what's an example? Like here and here, those are like dollops of paint, and that's like a pseudo smudge. So like I need to work in this area to resolve those artifacts. They call them artifacts when the brush strokes, mechanical brush strokes of the machine tool that you're using is evident in the image as a mistake, not a texture or an expression of the piece itself. So once you resolve your artifacts, you're pretty much actually done with that particular piece. Again, to reiterate, there's no real added quality in just mincing and hiding inside the pixels. You know, you gotta. Art is about continuously pushing yourself out of your comfort zone of your production process, so that you get more done with each effort that you take. Each brushstroke I take should produce better results now than they did 8 years ago. And if they haven't, I've been stagnant for 8 years. And art is such an amazing thing, because it is obvious when you are improving, and that there's not everything in life you can just look at it and know that it's better now. And art by its very nature, like painting by its very nature, is when you look at it and it'll look better than your older work if you're improving. I mean, inspiration and good composition aside, but that's a part of it. After 10 years, my work in general should be better than what my work than what it was. We're 4 hours of sleep. Words are difficult. So forgive me that. I'm going to up the... Like, is that really better? Than that? Not a lot. Anyway. drop in the 20s. I can just blend it in back a bit is what I need to do. Boo, boo, boo. And once I'm happy with this, we're going to go over it again to darken the dark areas, and we'll start dropping stars in. Artifacts over here obviously need smoothing. There we go. Twist my brush so it's at a different angle now. Comments. Hello. Lindsay, so based on past streams, rocks, clouds, on the time well spent. I mean, rocks obviously take longer than clouds, but rocks are assets. They can be extracted as individual pieces and dropped onto a battlefield as an obstacle that you can block line of sight and add texture to. So I don't know. I mean, clouds are so, pardon the pun, etheric in nature that you can get away with I mean, clouds carry color and light information, so it's fast gains, low effort generally. Like, you can do a lot more with a cloud, like a bank of clouds in an illustration than rocks will generally do. But all that asteroid stuff, that was all map assets. Those are that was technical stuff, as opposed to just pure illustration for aesthetics. So I like how that's sitting like that. Twist that up like that. I recognize that I'm in a pretty rare position that I'm actually capable of fulfilling all the different roles of cover art, interior art, cartography, as well as layouts and mechanical document development and producing the text to put into it. The only thing I can't do myself is edits. Always have to have an editor. If you're going to produce a book, you must have an editor because it is that second layer of confirmation that the content that you're putting out is good, and a good editor will push back at, this doesn't feel right, this needs to change, this language is consistently incorrect, change it, and the more you pay for your editor, the more they'll do those changes for you. Like, you can pay rock bottom prices like 5% and get an editor that'll do like comma. It's like, this comma thing is throughout the entire document, fix it. And then you can fix it and come back to it. It's like, what else needs to be fixed? It's like, all these things need to be fixed. Fix it. The more you pay, the more you can expect an editor to actually just do all of that for you. So you can negotiate that stuff when you're looking for people to work with you. And everyone's different. Everyone has their own price point on stuff. But I can edit. I just can't edit my own work, which is kind of why I want to get into that design studio sort of space, where I can provide the creative assets on top of the editing, so that I can sponsor you. Just like, hey, I need 10,000 words about this thing. Do it. And while you're doing that, I can go in and start building the book cover for whatever that topic is about. And then on the back end of it, it's like, great, this document is done. Anyway, whatever. I ran Steam in the middle of that one. I'm going to up this a bit. Now I just want to listen to like an hour and a half of Purity Ring. Purity Ring, if you don't know Purity Ring, that is a cool band. Highly recommend. Can't listen to it. I'll probably demonetize if I do. That is not the goal. I mean, I guess I don't have enough subscribers left. Help me get if you're checking out the stream, please like and subscribe, so if I decide to start listening to music, I can lose my monetization status more quickly. Thank you. There's no demonetization happening if I don't get paid in the first place. So help me lose. Up the strength there to 60. Maybe I won't be on tomorrow. Yeah, I won't be on tomorrow. Maybe I was about to say maybe I can actually get some sleep tonight. But you guys don't care. I'm not going to be on. So I will be back bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Friday morning. I've still got an hour left. That's ridiculous. This is great. So we'll be done here with these clouds probably in the next 10 minutes or so. Then we'll get back into this guy. I'm doing like these little, just like Bob Ross, man. I'm just doing like these tiny little circles, like this, but it's more exaggerated. But it's a lot smaller. That's a really exaggerated version of it. And I'm changing my opacity. Like I'm at there's 40 something, there's 20 something. So I'll bounce between 20 and 60 typically, depending on how much I need to push. Like I'll start like with like 40 to 70% when I'm first laying down cloud coverage, and as I dive closer and closer into smaller detail, the amount of strength that I use lessens to 40 to 20, and then I was dipping down over here into 10, because the lower the strength on the smudge brush, the more gentle the poofs of cloud become. So as you work on the macro scale, you can just drop in color and just smudge it all together so that it makes sense, and you get like the general feeling, like the general vibe of the piece. And then as you dive in further and closer, you can be more gentle with the brush so that it feels more wispy poofy. Like here I need to be like, at a 50. Yeah. Be able to push this stuff around a little bit more. Up the size of my brush so I'm hitting more cloud at the same time. Hey, timely timer. Let's keep it bouncing. Cheers. I don't know if me doing layout on stream is going to be particularly interesting for people, because I don't know. I don't truly know if it's the time of day that I'm doing this now as like a morning coffee stream, but I suspect what it actually is. My numbers have tripled, like the amount of views that I'm getting. I was getting like 15, 20 views a day, and I'm clocking in closer to 60 now. And I got 55 yesterday. I had 55 on Monday and like 30 yesterday, which is still consistently higher than my baseline. And I think not because of the time of day so much, because I'm getting multiple views every hour of the day now. It's because it's the content. It's artwork. People infinitely enjoy looking at artwork more than me typing. So I honestly don't know if doing page layouts is going to be interesting content for people to consume with me, because it's a combination of reading and pushing text around the page and arguing with how it sits on. It's a visual. I mean, obviously it's a visual thing because it's layout. You're organizing the information. All the information is going to be there, so people that are interested in this and want to see the final product are going to be able to just read along with us as we sit here on screen and figure out how all those final words actually fit on a page. But it's not, I'm not making space sharks at that point. I'm just pushing text around a page. So I don't know. I think cartography, more than anything, I want to say maps get the most committed view count. I'm still new with this, but it seems cartography pulls people that are into D&D further into the stream than anything. But I think art is the most accessible. So that's another reason why I want to have books in different cycles all the time. It's like while I'm doing artwork for this book, ideally I'd be doing development work for another, so that I can have my daily dose of artistic progression and feed the audience and continue to grow on that front, while on another gear altogether, building the next book so that I can get it into art production afterwards. So I have this cycle of starter project, get the text going, get the book cover going, get into edits, start building assets, maps, tokens, whatever, get it back from edits, do the page layout, from the page layout get into the interior art pieces, and then publish. And then once I get out of development and send it off to the editor, that's when I can start the new book in light development while I'm doing art assets for the book that's currently in edits. So I don't know what the timing on all of that is yet, and I don't think I can really realistically handle more than 2 projects at a time, but it'd be nice to only be, I don't know, I don't want to just handle one book at a time, because I need to be able to flip gears from one project to another, because I hit stagnation pretty easily on projects. So I need to this up. So I'm going to increase the size of the brush and lower the strength down to 20% so I can push those pixels into the page. Sometimes I'll use a blur filter on clouds depending on what it is, but I'm gonna up that back up to 40. Where are we at there? 40. I'm just gonna muck this up a little bit to get some more texture going inside of here. There we go. I'm gonna fade this in together, and then I'm gonna go on another layer and re-highlight this edge. So I'm gonna fade this in a little bit more than it is. That. Just like that. Icked. Okay. This is very convincing. I prefer evil genius. Get that idiot scientist out of here. Lilo and Stitch, man, that is just an amazing Disney cartoon, and I think it is highly underrated. I love Lilo and Stitch. Such a great movie. I love the visual. Oh man, I locked this guy up too. All right, I'm gonna hit save there. I'm gonna refresh my coffee mug. The visual language inside of Lilo and Stitch. There's no straight lines in that movie. Everything has a bit of a curve to it. Even the buildings have like a real subtle arc to them. Like everything is like got this soft edge and curvature to it, which is super cool, and really just fits the vibe of the show in general. So I don't know. If y'all haven't seen Lilo and Stitch, you should put that on your list of something to do this holiday, because it's a good one. It's about taking care of family, protecting your family, extending an invitation to expand the family to strangers. It's a very Thanksgiving sort of movie. And the tech is cool, and the low-key violence is great. It's fun. It's a fun film. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. And Peripheral, if you aren't watching Peripheral on Amazon, that is... I don't watch a lot of shows. Most of the time, if TV time is me on a tablet writing, and if the show is interesting, I'll look up at it occasionally. But Peripheral, I will stop, put down the tablet, and just stare at Peripheral. It is a high quality show. like sci-fi fantasy stuff. I kind of judge the quality of the show on the plot points and the decision making that the characters make, both the protagonists as well as the villains in the show. And I consistently find myself watching Peripheral saying, yeah, if this was a game, I would do that. From the villain side as well as from the player side, like I would expect my players to do that, and then they do that thing. It's like, yeah, this is written by somebody who knows how to build stories, build conflicts, build intensity. It's cool. It's really, really cool. Like I would say it's this first season is comparable to let's see, like Westworld. I'd say the first season of Westworld. This is as strong as that. Like somewhere between Breaking Bad and Westworld, I would say is the level of quality that the show's putting out. I'm not a big fan of late stage Westworld. I think it's kind of eating its own tail. I don't know if they're going to continue with it or not, honestly, but I think they could put it to rest at this point. Westworld, that is. There. That feels pretty good. Soften that a bit. Cool. Now we can. We can do it again. So let's get that up like around 60% right now for us to push the pixels. So you can see what I mean. Trying to break this up a little bit. Take the opacity down to 20. So we can soft blend that in a bit. Soft blend over here a bit. Oh, like I said, what we do need to do is work on that lance a little bit, bring some highlight of that into it. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let's splash in some stars and walk away. That's a good diversity there. Did I lock up again? Yeah, I did. Alright, so we close that out. We'll open it back up again. Fresh layer. We're doing on timing. Cool. We're doing great on timing. That is the correct answer. There we go. Let's get to window. Let's go to brush settings and let's get rid of the spacing. Now, let's keep the spacing, like really push it apart. We'll get this down here out of the way. That absolutely failed. What the deuce? Oh my god, Doc, you stupid piece of crap. Anyway. Whatever. Whatever. I'm just trying to, let's see, maybe if I push this guy off like way the hell over here. Just keep him out of my face for a while. Boy, vey, I am angry at the moment. No, that's the wrong answer. I don't know how to fix this. Let's save that, and then let's just kill the whole damn thing, and let's relaunch it. See if that brings us some frickin' peace. Oh crap! I'm gonna screw up my bits. That needs to go. That needs to go. That needs to go. And I gotta do it again. Otherwise my windows get screwed up on my OBS. Christ on a crooked. Alright, we're back. Back like a heart attack. So we'll do that, and then we will duplicate the layer, and then we'll go underneath it, and we'll go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Drop our opacity down. Merge my bits there. Come through with a light opacity eraser. So I can create some fade. Oh yeah, got that screwball thing going on with my. Tools back. There, that feels pretty good. Lock that down. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty good with that. Just get it here, give it up here, there. Let's build on that. Save, and then see combine. Come on, my dude. Yeah, not happy, Bob. Let's get ratio at 100%, get rid of some of that shit. Bop, bop. to duplicate that layer, and we're going to down, eraser, 30%. Tap at some of these things. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo, tap, tap, tap-a-roo. Merge those two layers down. We'll create a new layer. Duplicate that layer, and we'll filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Drop the opacity a bit there. Merge that down. Low intensity eraser. Tap, tap, tap. That down. Oh no, that flattened. I didn't want to do that. Merge down. Thank you. Yonder. I swear I just made a thing. Let's go like this. Copy and paste. Copy. Paste. Transform. Rotate. Down, merge down, merge down. Little pockets. Added stars and drop the opacity on them. Down, down. Just tap at things with an eraser. Grab here, cut, paste, push, free, rotate, paste. Tap, tap, tap it in. Down. Copy, paste, push, transform, rotate. Like that. Duplicate. Here. Transform. Charge down. Down. Let's see if I can fade out some of this a little bit, like that. Fade out a little bit like that. Fade out a little bit. It's endless stars. Endless stars. I'd like to get something that's not blue, please. Thank you. Stars, man, they're obnoxious. Let's see. More dots, more dots, more dots, more dots. My brain just wants to futz with this stuff a little bit more, so I'm gonna. How do we want to be? I don't know. My brain's just telling me to do stuff, so I'm just gonna futz around a little bit. Whoa, what are you? Get out of here. I don't need any text. Thanks. Something, time spent on clouds. I know, right? I know. Well, see, the problem that I'm having is I'm looking at this and like, I like this little chorbly effect that you guys got going on here. Well, I've got this like heavy cloud effect. So I like the wispiness that's happening over here and I want it. So I wanted to come in here and I wanted to futz with this. But yeah, you're totally calling me out. You're totally calling me out, and that is absolutely legit. But see, I mean, like these little feathery bits, that's better. That is arguably better. So it's not like I'm wasting time. It's quality time. But yeah, that's truth to power, my friend. Totally legit. But I think I like how that sits a little bit better. Like it breaks up the texture of the clouds a bit. I think that was necessary. Good own though. I will give you that. That was a good own. Something complete. Feels more an atmosphere and has more weight. I like the clouds. Your image feels, the ref is more gas nebula feeling. Yeah, well, I think that in the back, like I think that's, I don't know. Maybe let's break that up a bit. I'm gonna leave this foreground like this, but I just think the back felt too samey. So I wanted to break up that language a little bit. Like that. I'm pretty happy with that. Contrast. What before that? I think that still works. I think, well, I mean, I haven't gotten the highlights and stuff on this tail yet, but I agree with you. There to there. It's not a huge amount of dichotomy, but once I get the runner light on here. So let's go ahead and put a staple in space for now. There's probably enough cloud. There's probably enough stars and stuff poking through that people get it. I'm pretty happy with that. So as in contrast is really good. Oh, thank you. It's like I said. I don't see color, so the only thing I have is contrast. So as I understand, artists that actually see color, their biggest problem is contrast, because the color, the difference in saturation of color. Saturation is not contrast; it's intensity, and it can trick a color vision into thinking their piece has more pop than it really does. So that is one edge that I have, that my eyes can't lie to me, because it's not telling me anything at all. So where are we at? 7:40. Okay, we still got 20 some odd minutes, so that's great. Let us get back into something complete. Reference. Let's see. Okay, let's see how that does. So we're going to put this overlay. Getting owned by my audience. It's so great. Keeping me on track, guys. I appreciate that about you. Anzi says, you're not wrong about color. I often get muddled down in midtones when I actually need to fix my contrast. I mistake complementary for contrast and wonder why it feels flat. Bam! Thank you for the confirmation. It's because I don't see the color, I have to know how color theory works really well. So when I look at my RGB scale over here, I can kind of intuit what's going on there. Yeah. I want to do this here. Do I have a break effect going on here? Hold on. Brush settings. Oh, yep. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm messing around with lighting, and I'm just kind of, my eye is just kind of casually surveying the situation right now and recognizing how little detail I dropped into this before I fused the two together. So I'm like, how's that working out for you there, buddy? Do. I want to grab and separate this again. I have a plan. I think I know what I'm doing. So let's go in here. dare I merge that down? Hell yeah, I do. Interesting. All right. I'm going with a crystal sort of thing going on here. Yeah. I mean, I guess if I do it right, it's cool. If I don't represent the materials well, then it won't be. It all comes down to, does it read properly or not? And I know the bands don't make it any easier. I was using those for perspective, mostly, just to make sure I had it lined up properly, and I'm totally content with painting over them, as I am obviously in the process of doing now. Hopefully I get it right. It should read better once I get the detailing in. Right now I'm just doing form. Oh God, there's some ugliness going on with these marks. Some crap stars you got going on there, Kearney. Gotta defutz all that stuff. Tangent. We'll fetch with that later. So back on track. All right, I'm willing to commit to this. Make a speckled starbrush. You know what? You might be right. You might be right. Face. Itchy face, long hair. Is that time? Ah, oh, crap. It's 8. Alright, that's my date. Dismiss. So we'll obviously I'm gonna fuss with this for another moment. And then we gotta bail. Flies when you're having fun. I think we should be able to have this done Friday morning. I like that. I like how that's. Oh god, there's look at all those little remnants going on down in there. Smooth that rough out. There. Go back over here. here. Cool webbing effect going on like that. See, is that starting to read pretty well? Cool. Nice. Well, that's a victory condition then. So we'll be able to fix that up. Maybe do some crystalline stuff here on his shoulder. Like that. All right, cool, nice. All right, I'm really excited. I'm enjoying this piece immensely. So let's close that up. Take a span back. Thanks, man. You have a great holiday too. I will be back Friday morning, and when I do, we're gonna fix the rest of this up and get done with it. Then I'll probably break for breakfast, and then I'll come back and I'll start hammering away at the Eberron cartography that we had been doing. So yeah, thanks a lot. Exit, outro stuff. Like, subscribe. Check out my books down at the DMs Guild. They're all 100% preview. You can read them cover to cover to see the illustrations that I put inside of them and the kind of mechanical ideas that I have for you to get a good idea of where we might be going with these sort of things. Follow me on Twitter. If you know where I'm at on Discord, shout out at me and say hi. And I am outie. I will see you guys in about 45 hours. So